Good news. Now they can hear it. Ready? 1, 2. Here, watch this. Might be funny.
The fuck just happened? Now we're recording?
Yes.
Sound and all?
Yeah, it's all
All right.
working. It's there.
Good day, ma'ams and sirs. And of course, welcome to another episodic adventure on the Number 9 with Tommy podcast. As sure as the dog drags his ass to scratch an itch, Tom's going to spend an hour or so dealing with Patrick's shit. As sure as the dirty Sanchez can make you gag, we're back here today to make you laugh. As sure as Gorilla Glue makes terrible hair cream, we hope this podcast finds the Number 9ers living their dreams. As sure as neither of us has ever circumvented a meal, Tom's mouth rings will change the way his dentist will feel. The doc's aghast as he discovers the dark ring on the roof and wonders how a suck job like that didn't even leave a ding in the tooth. He has an epiphany about Tom's gut locker and thinks to himself, Dip Dizzy Whizzle's giant fingers must really be giving him hell. But enough about how Tommy's hole is about to give him his 2 cheeks notice. We're about to get ready. Let's fucking go, bitch. Tommy Bahami, the Number 9ers have a question and I can't wait. Those stylish new curtains, do they match the drapes?
I like it. That was a good one. That was a good one. I had something I was going to say, and then you caught me off guard with it.
Was this about your trimmed pubes?
No, it wasn't about the fuck. It was going to be funny, too, man.
It was a fucking riot. It played out well.
Oh, man. All right.
Where was it? I don't even
I
remember.
had it up there. I stood up in the middle of you reading it and got it.
Oh, that's
and I
funny.
was expecting you to look, and you never looked.
Why would you not have taken your opportunity?
Because I wouldn't do that to you, Pat, just like you want to do it to me.
1, I absolutely would do that to you. 2, you absolutely would do that to me.
I would never inflict pain on you, Pat. That's not fair.
Is it because it's not fair, or is it because fear of retribution?
A little bit of both.
Fair.
Okay. So what's up, man?
Not much, man. How was your day?
Day was whatever. Who cares? We're here now. That's what matters.
All right. Hey, where's Erica?
She's actually getting her hair did.
Okay.
The curtains do not match the drapes.
All right. Is she getting Gorilla Glue done?
Probably not.
She's never really up with the current fashions.
Did you send that in?
What's that?
The fact somebody sent it in to us. That girl that got the Gorilla Glue thing done
Made over $20,000 on a fucking
GoFundMe to have her fucking scalp surgically fixed.
Yeah, at least she's donating the money.
She says. I mean,
That's a good point.
I would say that too, and then I would put half in my pocket at least.
Yeah, like, hey, I donated half. That was still very kind of me.
Well, because I guess somebody came out and said that they would do the surgery for free for her.
Oh, see, she's paying it forward, man.
Yeah, something like that. Fucking, I want to know the dumb motherfuckers that donated to her. Right? You know, like...
Yeah, is that out of sympathy or so that you can go to work and be like, yo, I donated to the GoFundMe for the Gorilla Glue girl?
I would never waste my money on. Like, who would
You wouldn't throw $2 just to say you did it?
First off, GoFundMe, minimum of $5.
What?
Yeah. And
That
no,
doesn't seem fair.
I wouldn't. I would not. That's part of the problem.
If I knew how to do a GoFundMe, find a GoFundMe, or fund a GoFundMe, I'd probably throw her $5.
Yeah, I wouldn't. But anyway, Pat, we got some mail. We'll get into mail time. Is your phone on silent?
Do you feel like
Off?
success on GoFundMe works against you? Like, if I went to go give her $5 and I saw she had raised $5,000, I'd be like, fuck that.
Depends
She
on
don't
the
need my
cause,
$5.
right? For that, no. For that, yes, I think it does affect you. For a decent,
A realistic cause?
yeah, like what Portnoy's doing for the small companies,
Yeah.
Barstool Fund. I think the more money they raise, the more people want to donate to be part of that.
Yeah, be part of the overwhelming movement.
Yes.
Sure.
That I think less people would. I like if I went to that and I saw that she had raised $5, that would be like, nah, I'm good. Like she doesn't deserve any more money for that.
That's fair. Mason said no sound voice. I hope
that was a while
old.
ago. Yeah, it was old. It is. I guarantee it.
I nailed the intro in 2 takes because I had to start halfway through because Tommy was like, bad news, Pat. We're not fucking recording.
Hey, well, at least
Hey, Mason.
it was only like 10 seconds in I realized it.
Really, any number niner. It doesn't have to be Mason. I'm looking at this. What do we got? Well, we got the red and blue again. It looks purple, first off. Do I look like I haven't slept in 6 days and I'm currently on a crack run? Like I've just been binging crack for 5 days?
Pat, do you see that that's the way that you look?
That's how it looks to me, yeah.
Okay, so when you walked in here, I said, Pat, are you okay? And you said,
that's a valid point. You did say that, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Carissa said yes. Oh, well, thanks, Carissa. I don't know why. I feel great, man.
Yeah, you walked in here, dude, and it looked like you had just, one, either taken a hot shower.
Yeah.
Two, had just, I asked you, and by looking at you, you would never think this was possible, but I asked you if you went to the gym before you came here.
Yep, you did say that.
And then I said, are you feeling okay?
And I do. I feel great.
You look like you may hold up a convenience store, Mason. I also said, when he put on the beanie, he said, you look like a wannabe Ginger Marshall Matters.
That's true. He did say that. No problem. Honesty. If you ask, I'll give it. Appreciate you, Carissa. Yeah, I don't know, man. I got plenty of sleep. I feel great. My bed was freshly made. Emily, when she leaves Mondays after I leave, she'll hang around. She does the laundry. She does the dishes. She makes the bed. I fucking come home to a clean house Monday after work. It's wonderful. So that all happened.
On Monday. Today's Wednesday.
Yeah. So here's the thing. All day yesterday, I thought it was Wednesday. And then all day today, all day yesterday, I thought it was Monday. So I was a day behind. Then all day today, I thought it was Tuesday, which is super inconvenient because the business that we're in is totally dependent on the day.
Facts.
And everything I was doing was for yesterday.
I don't see how that's possible. I mean, when it pops up, it gives you what day it is.
Yeah, so I had the numbers wrong, though. That's what happens.
Oh, I see.
I was all fucked up. But I feel fine. I've been perfectly alert. I didn't make any gigantic mistakes because of it.
Mason says, I saw you 2 hours ago and you look noticeably more tired. I agree. All right, let's get into this, man. I have to put in suicide read. I don't know where we should put it in.
At the beginning?
Like before the podcast starts?
Yeah. Isn't that where you put it every time?
I don't remember where I put it last time.
You put it at the beginning.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't listen to the show.
I've listened to the last 2 or 3. I got to tell you, it's not very exciting to have an hour and a half conversation with you at 7:30 to 9 o'clock, and then wake up at 4:30 and hear the exact same conversation a second time. I should really not listen to it the day after.
You don't enjoy our conversation?
Barely the first time.
That's nice. Thanks, Pat.
Where's Phobic Squirrel, bro?
Phobic Squirrel has no power. He's
my brother either.
He hasn't had power in 3 days. I feel bad. We're recording for mailtime now, but I'll tell you what happened. So I called him yesterday because he had talked to me the day before, said that they were doing the rolling blackouts. He was getting power for 40 minutes or 15 to 20 minutes at a time. Power would be off for a half hour, and then and it was like that throughout the day on Monday.
That's a nice way to get some heat back up.
Well, at least you can get heat back in the house. You know what I mean? And then he said finally at 6 o'clock Monday night, power went out, never came back on. I saw his wife had posted something on the book. So I called him yesterday on my way home, and he's like, dude, it's total fucking bullshit. He goes, I started a fire outside to get some heat because the house is freezing. I don't have a fireplace. I live in fucking Texas.
Yeah.
So we did a fire outside for 4 hours until it got too cold to be outside. Then they went inside and realized that the house was colder than it had ever been. Heated up their dinner last night on the fire that they could eat.
They don't have a grill?
Yeah, I'm sure they do. But I guess while the power was on Monday, his wife had made a chili.
Yeah.
And so they just heated that up in a pot on the fire.
Okay.
So yeah, they're so I called him tonight on my way home. He was out walking the dogs, trying to get some energy out of them. But he's like, yeah, we still have no power. Many people are asking us to go stay with him, but it's hard with the dogs. And his dogs. So when I went to go see him in November, I didn't believe him about his dogs, right? Like, because we had said something, my mom was going to come out similar to the time I was out there. And I was like, well, because she was flying in the day before I was leaving. I was like, just have her stay at the house. She goes, oh, it's too much for the dogs. And I'm like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? Like, how fucking, like, I don't understand it.
Yeah, lots of people have them.
Well, yeah, exactly. His dogs, new people, they don't like.
Really?
And it's not like they're not aggressive or anything.
Yeah.
But they bark nonstop at you. Like, I'd be sitting on his couch. He would finally get him to calm down.
Yeah.
And then 20 minutes would go by and they'd just come over and start barking at me.
Oh, that's super fucking annoying.
Yes.
Dog barking is at the very top of my list of noises.
So don't get me wrong, they're great dogs. I don't know what the fuck and it's both of them. It's not just one of them. They're the same kind of dog. I couldn't tell you what they are. But they're beautiful dogs, good dogs. So I was there 5 days or something like that. And finally, by the time I was leaving, they were used to me. And so I get what he was saying.
Right.
To go through that again with another, it's fucking horrible. But anyway, so thoughts and prayers to everybody in Texas. I hope he told me it's supposed to warm up starting tomorrow.
My brother is also out of power in Texas, and he texted like the family chat or the family text feed, I guess, and was like, no power. It's 55 degrees. And I was just like, what the fuck? That's the summertime.
Yeah, it's a nice spring day, bub.
That is legitimately not even light jacket weather, motherfucker.
See, at my brother's house yesterday, it was 28 degrees. So
yeah, that's much colder.
Yeah, his neighbor actually, because they're not used to this, but Tim, luckily living here and lived in Alaska for multiple years, knows that when it gets cold out and you don't have heat, you drip your water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the pipes don't freeze.
Yeah.
His neighbor apparently did not know this, and his pipe burst.
That's no good.
Yeah, so he was actually helping out his neighbor, but now they're saying like they can't be like, I don't know what my brother's situation is, but I know that some people it's a boil water only because they not filtering the water coming in. It's a fucking mess down there.
I assume they also don't lose power nearly as often as us.
Well, so what Tim was telling me also was the Texas grid is its own grid. Sure. It's not tied into the national grid.
Right.
So that's part of the problem why they're having issues with not being able to supply power to these places.
Right.
Also, they have a lot of wind energy down there, and because it got so cold, the fucking wind turbines froze.
Wow.
Yeah. Something to do with the fucking natural gas energy producers. Something happened with those. So that's why they can't produce enough power to keep up with
Plan B, Plan C, and Plan D have all failed. Plan E was not really under construction.
Yeah. So, but he said when I talked to him tonight, he said, neighbors within a mile of his house are starting to get power back. His boss lives within 2 miles of his house and has had power throughout the day, a couple hours each time. So hopefully he gets power soon. Hopefully we see him on the next podcast. And hopefully him and his wife are doing well. Same thing for your brother, 55 degrees. That's fucking...
Well, that was a couple of days ago. I don't know what it is now. They just got power back this afternoon.
It's probably 75. How cold it got.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, 75. I don't know if we can weather this storm.
Yeah. Somehow, like, they're outside in their yard with full snowsuits on. I live in Connecticut. I don't have a snowsuit.
Yeah, I walk out to my car in a T-shirt most days.
I walked out of work today in a T-shirt because I mopped. Yeah. I was like, man, it is hot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, though. Like, your body just gets accustomed to what you're used to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anyway, we got some mail. We got a few things in mail. I forget what
Mason said your brother constantly says how your dogs are crazy and loud with people.
Yes, they are. Well, and if we're playing games with them, you can hear them sometimes just go off for no reason. They have no idea what the fuck's going on. So Griff emailed in. So you guys want to be a debate team? I would vote nay, only because I enjoy when you guys are ill-prepared and say funny, dumb shit. I.e., he didn't put this in there, but i.e., there's 500 football games or whatever the fuck it is that we said.
Yeah, and to that point, it is part of our identity to be unprepared for any type of conversation whatsoever.
Yeah,
so
pretty
he
much.
has a valid point. But we're always looking to broaden our horizons. So that is one piece of feedback. We are open to any pieces of feedback about the idea of debating topics with no emotion, just fact, flipping a coin to see who's going to take which side. Or we're open to not fucking doing that and coming up with more ideas. We're fine either way.
Yeah, we're down to talk about pretty much anything.
Basically, just want you to be happy listening to us.
Pretty much. Email number 2 comes in from the Dipster. This is quite a long one. So I think Pat's going to have to read it because I'm a dum-dum.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to have to go with we should talk about what the Would You Rather was. The Would You Rather was, would you rather walk in to a bedroom where your parents are sharing a simultaneous climax and realize that you're stuck in the room because the door is jammed behind you, or hear your significant other tell very explicit sexual details about their sexploitations to their friend? None of these sexploitations have to do with you, so that's awful.
Okay, time out. One, I never answered this on a previous podcast. I'm going to answer it before we read this.
Okay.
2, Mason said, Tim's dogs are loud, in quotes. Tom's dogs, hold my beer. My wife just came home and the dogs are going fucking crazy.
That's great.
I'm going to answer this question, Pat, after a long, careful consideration. I'm going with option 2.
Really?
Yes.
Do you have an explanation?
Yes.
Any elaboration?
Because I know she can tell her friends whatever the fuck she wants. I know I'm the best my wife has ever had.
Yeah, but if she's talking about the best sex she's ever had and you're not included,
well, then it is what it is.
But quite the shocker for you.
Is it though? I mean, maybe it was about getting shocker. You know what I mean? She married me, bro. I don't give a fuck.
I will say this. Unfortunately, there are facts that we cannot undo in life. And I've seen each one of my parents having sex on a plethora of occasions. Just unfortunate timing on my end, I suppose. I once went upstairs.
How multiple times?
Well, there was a time when I went upstairs to ask my mom a question. She was married to my late stepfather. And, I saw my mom's naked backside because she was on top of him. That lives in me, Tom. That's a scar that will never heal. There's no cream for that mark.
That explains why you're so in love with your mother.
Maybe. I once went upstairs to see if my mom was going to make breakfast. And when I got about halfway up the stairs, I smelled the bacon. And I started moving a little quicker. And the quicker I moved, the less likely they were going to have time to cover themselves up. When I turned the corner, my mother was naked, sitting at the kitchen table, titties hanging out. And my stepfather turned to me, asked me if I wanted bacon, butt naked, Peter looking right at me.
You're fucking lying.
That was, I swear to God. Motherfucker had the frying pan in his hand, like he turned with the bacon. Swear to God.
So, what kind of household was your fucking house that they're banging on the kitchen table with
we've
kids
already
in the house?
established that my mom is amazing in the sack. We know that for a fact because she got married 3 times. So the unfortunate side effect of that is
I was going to say something really mean about your mom, and I would never say that.
That she got divorced 3 times?
Yeah, that maybe she wasn't a good wife because she's been divorced 3 times.
That's not fair.
Is it not fair?
It's not fair.
Oh no, she's only been divorced twice.
That's true. Yeah, Russ passed away.
The other one killed himself.
What? That's not true at all. That's fucked up, man. Both of them are alive and well, kicking and screaming. Mason said, "No one's frying bacon naked." I'm calling Cap Bud. First off, there is a song. It's an amazing song called "Lovin' You Is Like Frying Bacon Naked." That's true. It's
Russ
an amazing
wrote it
song.
after being married to Patrick's mom.
What happened?
Russ.
Yeah.
Wrote it after being married to your mom.
No. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that, if we took this in the context that we're saying it, I would guess that it was pretty normal for Russ to cook breakfast naked. Russ, I'm not kidding. First off, this man's the most fascinating man I think I've ever met in my life. This motherfucker had cables running because it was just him. He had a 2-family house. Nobody else is in the top or the bottom but him. So we move in. I have the bottom floor. They're in the top floor. And he has the TV in the living room, a cable running to the TV in the bathroom, with a cable running to the TV in the bedroom, with a cable running to the TV in the kitchen. So he would turn them all on, put them all on the same channel. So as he went about his business, like when he got home from work, he could be watching the same show wherever he went. The dude was fucking crazy intelligent.
I like it. I like that thought. What I'm concerned about now is that you lived on one floor, they lived on another floor. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
And somehow still you caught them having sex multiple times.
Yeah, because I would go upstairs.
Maybe you should just mind your own fucking business in your own part of the house.
You would think. Yeah.
You know what? I don't think that this is their fault at all. It's
no, this is on me. You know what's more embarrassing than having somebody walk in on you while you're pulling your pud? Walking in on them having sex when you're fucking 15 years old. You're just like, Mom, oh God, Mom, why did this happen?
No, Pat was like, Mom, I got to go back to my room. I'm sorry. Fucking rub one
Don't bother me. I need 15 minutes. No. So I'm going number one because I've been there, done that. Fuck it. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, you haven't seen them climaxing.
When my parents were divorcing, my father would bring around, like, man, so I guess we're going back 25 years. So he would be 40-ish. And I remember a 28-year-old girlfriend. I remember a 22-year-old girlfriend. This is like on the weekend when my dad, has like his weekend custody and would just be like, this is my new girlfriend, Tanya. Isn't she beautiful? And I'm just like, there's no way Tanya doesn't work at the strip club. like, he went through a slew of very good-looking, much, much younger women. So, I mean, yeah, I'm just going to, I guess, watch my parents mutually climax.
It happens.
Rather than have my heart crushed and my psyche fucked up.
Yeah, I'm comfortable, so I'm good. Anyway, read Dip's email here.
So Dip Dizzy Whistle says, well, guys, I think we're going to have to go with the parents. As gross as that is, Tom clicked away the thing and now I can't see it. Okay, there we go. As gross as that is.
My bad.
How could you ever get past knowing the details of your wife's dirty little secrets? Well, I mean, Dip, if it's any consolation, they'd all be about me. The way I see it, yes, you will be scarred for the rest of your life, but you could get past that. Trying to live up to and be better than that other guy, deep dicking the one you love. That's some hard to shit to get over. Anyways, personal advice, the chat on the live stream really interferes with the podcast. When Thami stops the podcast to ready the live stream, it fucks up the podcast. And like Owen Hart felt when the rope was slipping between his fingers. Oh man, I skipped a whole line. I'm sorry, Dip. When Tommy stops the podcast to ready the live stream, it fucks up the podcast and makes us that only listen to the podcast feel like a redheaded stepchild. Like when Owen Hart felt when the rope was slipping between his fingers, confused and unable to get a grip on it. That's a precious sentiment.
I read that yesterday, dude. And I told Mason, this is by far the best #wrong heart moment.
I don't like it.
I fucking love it. It was hilarious.
He goes on to say, anyways, keep electrifying us number niners. Just like Three Finger News, I'm sure you guys will be in for a shock soon enough. Dipster. So let's assume that has to do with a taser or a stun gun coming our way.
Well, I don't think it's going to be a stun gun. I've recommended multiple times that somebody send in a cattle prod.
A cattle prod? Branding, I would get branded.
No, not a brander.
Oh, no, a zapper.
Yeah, a cattle prod.
I was thinking of a cattle brand.
Yeah.
Hey, if we got a 9, I mean, I'm sure Cattle Farm have the number 9.
Just go get a piece of fucking iron and we'll weld it onto a pole and we'll heat it up and we'll brand each other with the number 9. I'm down.
Are you?
Yeah.
So here's the thing about branding, because I'm down too.
It gets infected as fuck.
Do you know how to keep a brand? Like, you know how to make it scar and clean nicely?
No.
Brillo pad. Not kidding. You clean it daily with a Brillo pad.
Never mind. Well,
anyway. You got to get the shit out of it. Mason said, yo, Dip with the #wrong heart. Amazing. Fuck you. Fuck both of you. Fuck y'all.
Dip, I only have, and Dip, we've been on pretty good terms, so I'm not going to say anything mean. I just want to say, if you want to catch the stuff in the live stream, come on and watch it. Every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m., mostly every Sunday at 10:30 a.m., except for this coming Sunday, we will be live at 5 p.m.
I get how frustrating it must be to, like, us to do a callback to something that happened when we weren't recording the podcast. We were just recording the live stream. It's got to be fucking annoying.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Erica wrote, haha, when I worked in the adult with disabilities, I knocked on a guy's apartment door and let myself in with a key. It was a studio. His girlfriend was like, oh, we were just having a little sex. I was so embarrassed. Nice.
That's amazing. Mason said, I'm pretty sure Marilyn Manson can recommend a good cattle prod. Oof, Mason, unfortunately, dude, I think Marilyn Manson just got into a bunch of trouble for torturing some woman that he's been with.
Nice. Can you read that?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's very small.
Yeah, I don't know why it came. I thought I did the same. I don't know.
Font?
I fucked up. The same size as the other one, and I clearly I did not.
All right. It helps a lot that it's also like rainbow toned. I'll get through this. What are you doing?
Fixing it.
Are you? We're just gonna wait for Tom to. All right, that's worse. Significantly. Okay, and Tom has fixed it. From Carissa, hey guys, this week's question was fairly simple for me. I'm confident that hearing Mason tell explicit details with other people way less traumatizing than being in a room with my parents climaxing. I know that Mason has had previous partners, and that's fine. Hell, even if it was him telling me myself, not someone else, I think it'd be easier to deal with. Now, he might see it differently, being the one that would be doing the describing, but I feel like we're pretty much open with talking about whatever, so why not? Anyways, thanks for the entertainment. Also, Thom, if you just take the dang staple, you don't have to be scared or jumpy throughout the whole episode, although that is enjoyable. Your loyal number 9er, Carissa.
So I'm a little, oh boy. I'm a little confused by that, a little bit.
Which part?
The fact that I would still, even if I stapled myself, Carissa, I would still be jumpy. Because I wouldn't want to get it again.
Do you know that the CIA interrogation tactics revolve around
Stapling people?
No.
That would have been funny.
The fear of what's coming next.
Yeah.
It's not the torture. It's not the pain. It's that was tolerable, what I just went through. I don't know if I'll be able to handle what's next. That's why they threaten your family and they threaten your loved ones, because it's not what's actually happening. It's the potential of what could happen. Your fear of the stapler is because you don't know how painful it will be. Once you've experienced it, you'll go, I think I came a little. No, it probably won't be that good, but you'll go, that really isn't that bad. I definitely come when it happens.
That's disgusting.
It's an easy way to get an orgasm. This comes in from Blue Justice. Now, let me ask you, Blue Thunder, knowing that we fucking forgot how you wanted to be addressed, and we ended up calling you the Blue Ranger last time. You signed this email just blue?
If it makes you feel better, Pat, he didn't even fucking sign it. I put in blue because that's where the email came from.
Oh, okay. Blue balls?
Blue something.
Blue Justice?
Blue waffle? I don't know. It said fucking blue.
He's Blue Justice.
Is he?
Yes.
I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, he's Blue Waffle.
And when we didn't get his name last time, I got a phone call and he blew his lid. Let me tell you. He was not happy.
He blew his lid? I mean, maybe. As far as I'm concerned, until I get an email from this quote-unquote Blue Justice.
You just said you did get an email from him.
I got an email from a guy named Blue.
Oh, there you go.
This is Blue Waffle. Blue Thunder.
So he set up a secret email like I told him to.
I have no idea. I don't know who it is.
Well, he obviously did.
His name is Blue.
I get what you're saying, but he obviously did if he emailed in. But maybe he made his name Blue instead of Blue Justice.
Maybe this is a prankster knowing that this guy that hasn't written in yet and just wrote because we couldn't get the name right and wrote in under Blue. I don't fucking know.
I imagine if somebody wanted to prank us, they would have put something.
We will credit this one to this quote-unquote Blue Justice. But until I get an email from a guy named Blue Justice, I'm going to call him Blue Waffle.
I wonder what shade of blue he wants to be. Like, is he light blue? Is he dark blue?
I would say probably light blue.
Is he
like baby blue?
Is he like a turquoise?
Turquoise is more green, ain't it?
I don't know. Aqua?
Aqua.
Oh, I had my bedroom at one point as a child was jasmine blue. It looked like one of the colors out of Aladdin.
If this is the first time somebody's listening to this show,
yeah,
they're going to think we're super baked. Because we cannot stay on topic tonight to save our fucking lives.
Yeah, we really blew it. So Blue Justice says, either one doesn't matter to me. If I have to choose, I guess I will choose my ex talking about the best sexual experience that I never gave her. It goes with my old saying, I love the opportunity to disappoint you. That's a pretty deep saying. That's almost prophetic.
He also appreciated the opportunity to give you that blue waffle. This one comes in from M. I figured out the M, right? Remember at first you didn't know who this was? You know who it is, right?
I knew who it was at first.
Okay. Well, this guy has a signature set up in his email.
Yeah, no, he writes, we know who he is. He writes M so that we don't say his fucking name on the show.
Yeah, I got it. But I think that's the signature set up in his email.
That's beautiful.
Because I could not highlight that part of the email.
That's awesome.
To put it in. So I think that's how he signs off his emails.
So here's how I know that you're correct. Because he said, how did you address me on the show? And I said, as M, because that's how you sign it. And he said, that's fucking awesome. That's also how I send my work emails. Nice. So you are 100% correct on that.
Nice.
So M says, I suppose I'd have to go with my significant other explaining their most satisfying sexual experience and pray to God it was with another woman. First one is just too gross. Nobody thought of that. Nobody thought like,
maybe it's
what if it was a lesbian experience?
I just want to throw this out there. He wrote AMD. AMD is a processor. It's actually what I use on my computer.
Okay, well, he meant AND.
I know what he meant. Just shed some light on the situation. Number 6. Now, this one...
This is so well signed.
I don't get it, right?
Really?
I think maybe it's a heart. Number 3. I don't understand why Mason would put #3.
Because we're on the show, and he's like a sidekick. He's number 3.
Kind of. I mean...
No, that's exactly what it is.
I mean, that's
the best signature we've had on the show.
You told him to do that.
I swear to God I didn't. I laughed hysterically when I saw it.
Yeah, I guess.
Mason, number 3, said, good evening, gentlemen. It has been brought to my attention that I have yet to email any of my answers for any of the Would You Rathers. That being said, I would rather overhear my wife talking about past experiences. Cars have rearview mirrors, life doesn't. Oh, cars have rearview mirrors, life doesn't have to. So I don't care about any of her past sexcapades. Mason and Carissa line up, proving why they make such a happy married couple with such a sweet little beautiful baby. They're open communicators. This coming in from Decker. I'm going with 2. That's already how it plays out in my head anyways.
Fucking people.
Yeah, fucking Decker. I love it.
I'm dying. All right. Well, that's it for mail time, man. I appreciate everybody mailing into the show, even if you don't listen. I appreciate you listening and answering past text messages, email to the actual email.
Tom, when you texted me and said you had a grind my gears and you wanted to do it, I immediately went, he's going to talk about how people email into the show that don't listen to the show. That's going to be his grind my gears.
No, I mean, that does grind my gears, but that's not, I mean, I talk about that every episode.
Oh, I know. That's why I thought that's what it was.
Why would that be the grind my gears? That's a talking point in your outline.
I don't know.
You say, Tom talks about his problem with me having my friends email into the show and not making them listen to the show.
That has literally never been a talking point.
Well, it should be.
I create the outline myself. I've never done that.
All right. Well, you should start making that.
Fair.
All right. Anything you want to add to mail time? Make sure you guys are, for Sunday's show, keep answering the question if you haven't already. And it's clearly going one way.
I do have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how easy this would be. I think it would be very easy.
Of course you do, because you don't produce anything with the show.
That is correct. So as the tech guy, I listen to a wrestling podcast. And when somebody has to cough or sneeze or fart or like, I don't know, slurp soup, they have a mute button by their microphone, so they can mute their mic, which would be super convenient for hitting the vape. Can we put mute buttons on our mics? I mean, you have the whole fucking like mouse next to you. Can I have a mute button? Or is there like a power switch somewhere on this bitch?
No, there is not.
Could I unplug it every time?
No.
Let's try it.
No. If you unplug that, Pat, it's gonna fuck up the whole show.
All right.
I'll look into that, Pat. The problem is that we use a program.
Yeah.
We use a program for the mics. So
those two people are on separate computers. I should mention that.
Yeah. So they can mute their. It's like Discord, right? Like I could give you Stream Elements or something like that, or not Stream Elements, but like my the fucking thing there. What the hell is it called?
I don't
know. Stream Deck. I can give you my Stream Deck, and you would be able to mute and unmute your mic. But the problem is you can't do that because we know what it's called. Mason, thanks.
Mason says it's called a cough button. I'm pretty sure you can get an attachment as an add-on cough button.
Again, they're also most likely not in the same room.
Correct. They're at two different computers, generally speaking, two different states.
Yes. So the reason why that works also is because if you cough, even though your mic will be muted,
yours will pick it up.
Mine's going to pick it up.
But it'd be so faded. And if
it's not going to be so faded because we recorded a whole episode one time off of one of our mics. One of them I forgot to unmute.
Yeah, you make some technical errors from time to time that are
Pat, I want
hilarious.
You to understand something, and this should be known throughout anybody listening to the show. I have not taken a single class, anything, learning how to do this. I've taught myself. So I am going to make some mistakes.
I want to point out
the important thing is that the podcast is always out on time.
To enforce your point, I am very proud of how much work you've put in, and I agree. You have no class. I think you hit the nail right on the head. I agree.
Says the guy wearing a fucking beanie wanting to be like I'm in no class.
Says the guy looking like an overweight Goldberg.
What's the problem with that? Goldberg's a sexy fucking man. With a bald head.
Tom Berg.
Well, don't call me that, dude.
I don't like pointy beanies.
Pointy beanie.
Yeah, I also don't like pointy hoodies when they're pointy at the top.
Another one bites the dust.
Bum, bum, bum. Here comes Junkyard Dog, ladies and gentlemen. Mason said Goldberg, #1 punter to ever play for the NFL. What's fucked up is Goldberg did play for the, I believe, Minnesota Vikings. Oh, he played for the Atlanta Falcons. Let me see.
But not as a punter.
Well, he was a punter after that.
Hashtag wrong heart. Hey, have you read this article?
Goldberg played for the Falcons, the Rams, and oh, what the fuck? The Sacramento Gold Miners.
Hey, have you read this article?
What's that?
The one about the Oregon school?
I did.
Okay, because I heard a little bit on the news, but I didn't catch the whole thing. So I want you to explain it and hear my outrage.
You heard it here second.
Is this part of our 3-finger news?
No.
I'm pretty shocked by it.
If you read it, this article goes in both directions, buddy.
Sure. Let's hear what's up. Ready? All right, Pat, we're going to talk about this article that came out today from Oregon.
Yeah, so this was on the Daily Wire. It's an article written by Chrissy Clark. Says the headline is Oregon Department of Education asking students to show their work in math class as a form of white supremacy. In an email sent out by the Oregon Department of Education, teachers were encouraged to enroll in a course called A Pathway to Equitable Math Instruction. The course came with an 82-page instructional guide that lists the ways in which white supremacy is perpetuated in the math class. I will read some quotes about this. White supremacy. Culture infiltrates math classrooms in everyday teacher actions, coupled with the beliefs that underlie these actions. They perpetuate educational harm on Black, Latino, and multilingual students, denying them full access to the world of mathematics. The guide offers a year-long framework for deconstructing racism in mathematics, calling for visibilizing the toxic characteristics of white supremacy culture with respect to math. The guide claims that students, it asks students showing their work is a crutch for teachers to understand what the students are thinking. It's considered to be white supremacy because it allegedly reinforces paternalism and worship of the written word. Worship of the written word is an alleged foundation of white supremacy culture, which reinforces documentation and writing skills. Math classes that focus on helping students get the right answer are also a form of perpetuating white supremacy. The guide claims that calling answers right and wrong perpetuates objectivity, which is considered a tenet of white culture. The concept of mathematics being purely objective is unequivocally false, and teaching it is even much less so. The guide reads, upholding the idea that there is always a right and wrong answer perpetuates objectivity. I'd like to take a brief moment to explain what this is saying is that if you say 2 + 2 = 4, you're racist. Moving on. Tracking students is considered problematic as well. The guide considers tracking students a form of paternalism and power hoarding, as it is based on the idea that adults know what is right for students. Adults knowing what's right for children. Absurd. And racist, let's be fair. Not using
Pat, before we go any further,
yeah,
they're saying that there's always a right. There's not always a right and a wrong answer.
No, they're not saying there's not always a right and wrong answer.
But they're saying
if you believe that there's a right and wrong answer, you're racist.
Okay, so
pay attention, you fucking Nazi.
If 2 + 2 isn't 4, what is it?
I can't answer that, Tom. That would make me a racist. Don't try to trap me, you fucking bigot. God damn it, Tom.
Keep going, man.
Crazy motherfucker.
Pat, I'm not gonna lie to you. When you started this out, man, I really thought you were gonna take a different route with this.
No, I said it goes both ways. It really does. I wasn't being funny. This makes the argument has some validity in this next piece. Now, it also has a negative backswing. So here we go. Not using culturally relevant, I'm going to say it's pedagogy. Pedagogy. I'm going to say pedagogy.
It says epiphany.
It doesn't say epiphany. Not using culturally relevant pedagogy in word problems is considered a form of white supremacy too. Now, this is where I hit the Google machine because I went, what the fuck is a pedagon? So the answer is, it's a method and practice of teaching, especially as an academic subject or theoretical concept. So they're saying not using culturally relevant styles in word problems is considered a form of white supremacy too. I agree that if all of their word problems are very, we'll say, white America.
Yeah, like white bases.
Yeah, that's like, a legitimate fucking argument.
Like Billy and Sue, it should say, and forgive me for using these names, but
let's stereotypical.
Let's call a spade a spade.
Or Latino names. Yeah. Juan and Maria.
Yeah. Or Shaniqua and Tyrone.
Sure. Because as a child, always seeing these very lace curtain, crackerjack names could be somewhere in the back of their minds deflating.
Now, mind you, I get what you're saying. Yeah. I agree with that. Right? That depending on your culture, you use certain names like Juan.
Yeah.
Or Muhammad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Very common names in other cultures.
Yeah.
So I can see your point on that. Absolutely. I will say this. I know a black man. His name is Harold. I always thought Harold was a white man's name. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
to that point, you're saying even though if we were talking about Harold, who is a black man, we couldn't use his name because it's not a black enough name for math.
Yes.
I I understand your point.
Or maybe just diversify a little bit. Maybe say Maria, and instead of saying Juan, you say Muhammad.
Sure.
Diversify the word problems.
Even if they said textbook manufacturers, when you're making math curriculum, we expect 25% white names, 25% black names, 25% Latino names, and 25% other ethnicities.
I have a solve for this.
What's that?
Student A, student B. You don't have to use people's fucking name.
Those letters are probably the most racist thing that you have ever fucking said on the show. A and B, really? What's wrong with fucking G, Tom? What's wrong with Z?
You get it,
you
bro.
Piece of shit.
Another example. My uncle's name is Joseph. He's black. Is that not a black enough name for you?
I don't think that name would work in the context that they're referring to now. Now, according to this guide, it would be good practice to tell students to use Ankara fabric to teach mathematical concepts such as tessellations, fractions, area, percentage, etc. I went back to the Google machine, Tom, because I don't know what Ankara fabric is. But I do now. Ankara fabric, first off, Ankara is the capital of Turkey. Coincidentally, has nothing to do with Turkish culture. Ankara fabric is, like the
Turkish fabric,
the very colorful, we'll say traditional African, like dresses that women wear.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Ankara fabric. So what they're saying is, if a kid is learning area and you give him cloth, give him Ankara fabric, because that's not something that we find in a math classroom. And again, I don't disagree that that's a good idea. What I would have a problem with is if we said, okay, so now we're just going to have like all Ankara fabric and we don't include anything else. I don't think that going zero inclusivity because everything is African fabric is the right way to do it. But if you said, we have to have a mixture of fabrics, sure. Again, I think that's a great idea. And as a kid, I bet you would fucking love it. Hold on. Mason said 2 + 2 can equal 4 as long as you don't ask me to show my work. Valid point. Erica said, if they use the name Joey, they might be confused and think they're talking about a baby kangaroo. Erica, with a fucking brilliant point. You really have to be culturally sensitive about that kind of stuff. That's very true.
I don't get it.
A Joey is a baby kangaroo, bro.
I did not know that.
Well,
those kids aren't going to know that either. They don't know what 2 + 2 equals.
I knew that a Joey was a baby kangaroo when I was a kid. I want to point that out. So certain grading practices are also a form of white supremacy, specifically participation grades. According to the organization Grading for Equity, which parrots the idea that grading practices reinforce inequality, grading any form of behavior that leads to inaccurate, confusing, and even misleading grading. Not using... Oh, nope.
Dude, we are about to raise the dumbest generation ever.
Well, again, I really, truly believe that some of this makes sense.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I get what you're saying. Like, as soon as you said the name thing, I totally understood what you're saying. But saying that they
not showing your fucking work?
Yeah, how did you get to the fucking answer?
And the fact that it says, I'm going to go backwards, and the fact that it says, it was at the end of a paragraph. Here we go. Worship of the written word is an alleged foundation of white supremacy culture, which reinforces documentation and writing skills. So you want documentation and writing skills to come out of just math? Like if you're in English class, it's not racist to document or write. But if you're in math class,
it's racist.
It's a hate crime.
Yes.
It makes...
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe I'm ignorant. I welcome anyone who can make sense of this, who can truly make me understand it. I am so open to hearing why this isn't literally just the pendulum swinging to the other side.
But that's the way it's been for the last few years, right? Like, we're trying to listen, I'm all about equality, right?
Yeah.
I'm all about it. The problem is we're trying to overcomplicate how we're going to achieve equality.
Yep.
But we're also overcompensating for the equality issues. The fact that there's schools out there that want to take the name Abraham Lincoln and George Washington off their schools, they're American people that got us to where we are. Were they perfect? No. But in their time, that's the way it was.
Well, so to that point, let's take that and put it with any other
the chat is going off right now.
Yeah, any other facet of life. So you say because they weren't exactly the greatest people in the world. At the time, what they were doing was fairly common. But if you took George Washington and put him in today's society, he wouldn't make it a fucking week. No. He'd be a bastardized asshole.
Yeah.
But for the time, he wasn't the worst guy in the world. So let's just say Babe Ruth should come out of the Baseball Hall of Fame, and we should not talk about him when we talk about the greatest home run hitters of all time. Because Babe Ruth today isn't in shape enough to play baseball. His bat doesn't have the technology that the bats have today. Babe Ruth cannot play in today's league. I could hit a ball probably about as well as Babe Ruth today because, I got technology on my side. So is that a fair argument?
No.
Is it a fair analogy?
No.
You don't think it's fair analogy?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
That what they're doing is they're trying to bastardize these people that when they were alive, that was the world that they lived in. And right. I'm all about that we've made progress, right? And equality is a good thing.
Right.
Right? We've understood our wrongs. But you shouldn't crucify these people, I'm American fucking heroes. Whether you like it, whatever Abraham Lincoln's motives were
right.
to free the slaves, he fucking freed them.
Well, not only that, let's any of those guys who we consider the Patriots, the founding fathers, if they didn't do what they did for America, never mind their personal lives, if they didn't do what they did for America, you wouldn't be able to have a fucking opinion anyways.
Yeah.
You can't say that without Ankara fabric, math is racist if Abraham Lincoln isn't the fucking president at some point.
As long as you're not Tom McDonald.
Except, you get banned if you're Tom McDonald. So back to the Ankara fabric, teaching math concepts such as area and percentages. It goes on to say, but if the problem told students to use wood or an object that does not have cultural relevance, this would be considered upholding white supremacy. Do you remember the wooden blocks that you used for math?
Yeah, or they were little plastic ones. Yeah, little cubes, and then they had the
Do you know why you remember those? Because your teacher was racist. Moving on. Bastards. To be more culturally inclusive, teachers must adapt homework policies to fit the needs of students of color. Nobody's arguing that point. That's a great point. Teachers are also asked to identify and challenge the ways that math is used to uphold capitalist, imperialist, and racist views. Sure, if you see a problem, say something. I don't disagree with that at all. And I'm not even making fun of the person who wrote this article. I'm agreeing and disagreeing with different points. The instructional material also suggests teachers expose students to examples of people who have used math as a form of resistance. Not gonna lie, don't know what that last sentence means. That's the last sentence of the article. I clicked on this, so I read a different article about math being racist the other day. A completely different argument, which I actually almost wholeheartedly agree with. We're not going to get into it because it would get super confusing because we just covered this one. Maybe on Sunday we can talk about it. I talked to Mason about it, and he was like, oh, fuck, man. When you started, I was like, this is going south. But Mason also partially agreed. No, there is a lot of logic. This is not you putting your best foot forward, this article.
How can math be racist? It's numbers.
On Sunday, it will make some sense. It really will. I promise you. You may not agree wholeheartedly.
But listen, you mean to tell me
it's not the math problem, it's the system of math education. I don't want to get into it because, again, we'll cross streams.
About that Common Core bullshit?
No, fuck Common Core. Let's go. Let's read some of this
that
feedback.
Shit's racist.
After the kangaroo comment from Erica,
there was a comedian. Mason said there was a comedian that said tests are racist because there was a math problem that used parakeets instead of just saying birds, and there are no parakeets in the hood.
What the fuck?
I like it. So sometimes work with students, teachers.
Erica said.
Yeah, Erica said sometimes I work with students, teachers where showing their work is necessary in the class. Some people ask, why does the student need to show it if they know it?
Yeah, Erica, the times where it's necessary to show your work in math class is because you're a racist. Go ahead.
Damn, I can't get the scroll right.
All right, you're just scrolling back and forth at this point.
But the problem is, man, I can't. This little blue thing is gonna fuck it all up, and we won't be able to see what Mason said.
It's right there.
Yeah, but I think they're
Mason. Oh my God, Mason said, "I'll write you a letter to explain it to you, but I will only write it in cursive." So I said that I realized this article on my lunch break today, and I said to Mason, I said, it's almost like them saying we no longer need cursive, like everybody should just start printing, let's get rid of cursive, was like a foot in the door.
Yeah.
Right? You know, not that they called cursive handwriting racist, but let's be fair, it obviously is. It was really like, hey, let's start here. Let's take this portion of the education away. And this is not where I would have expected it to turn to. Don't show your work in math class. That's crazy. And in Common Core math, don't they show way more fucking work? Like you go around your ass to get to your elbow in Common Core.
So like Erica said, Erica had a good point here. But what about teaching following directions? Sometimes it might be just following directions, not necessarily showing their work.
Erica,
you're racist.
Yeah. When do you need to follow directions as an adult? You're setting these kids up for failure. We don't have things like traffic signs or traffic signals. We don't have laws that we need to abide by. Stop being racist. Fuck.
I figured out.
Dude, your wife is a hateful woman. It's coming out tonight.
Yeah, I know. I figured, well, Pat, I mean, this just goes with what you said about her last night on the Twitch stream. Do you want to share with everybody what you said about my wife?
Yeah, you said, at least I've only been married once and it lasted longer than the wedding, which is funny because your sex doesn't last longer than a sneeze. Second,
what the fuck does that do anything?
I said, that's because your wife was the only dumb enough woman for you to find that would actually marry you. Yeah. And you then screenshot that conversation and sent it to your fucking wife.
Yeah.
You rat bastard. And to which I replied, #not bald, he has a rat tail. Cocksucker.
The name of the show is Rat Tail. Perfect. I wrote two Erica, so I go back up. Sorry, mother. She's social skills. She's right. And Mason figured out how math is racist. 2 + 2 equals for her.
Oh my God, Tom, you're killing me. Führer.
Führer?
Like Hitler. He was the Führer.
Well, that's fucked up.
Yeah. So Mason doing some quick new math. Not to be confused with new math. We all know new math sucks.
It's called Common Core.
Mason's evolved into new math, which is less racist.
Common Core.
2 + 2 equals Führer. And I think if we really like break down, if like when you're doing long division with the weird upside down like sideways L and you carry the 1, that is less racist. You're right, Mason.
Thanks, Mason. Thanks for joining the show.
We appreciate you.
#3.
#3.
All right. Wow.
I hope that bit was as funny as it seemed.
We're totally off the fucking rails today. Listen, I got to do this grind my gears today.
All right, so we're gonna have to cut everything else out of the show, but let's go.
Let's fucking do it. Well, hey, we just have more shit for next episode, and we won't do the grind my gears next episode. That works out perfect.
Oh, I wanted to do these definitions so bad, but they can wait.
Oh, we could do them. The grind my gears isn't going to take that long. I just want to vent a little bit about this certain situation.
All right. But we're going to use Erica's car pooper in the next one. We got the Dunkin' Dozen. We got the Chick-fil-A good news. We could do something after we talk about what's on the next show. So we'll do right now.
We're going to do grind my gears.
We'll do your grind your gears.
Yeah.
We'll do the next episode. And then we'll come back. We'll do the 3 definitions. Dunzo.
Okay. Sounds good. Rat tail. Write it down.
Write it down. Dude, I'm so excited. I fucking have so much shit for next episode already.
I'm so glad that you kind of took that. You went the way you did with that article. I was like, I'm going to fucking debate this guy, and I haven't even read the article. I was super upset.
That's why I said it goes both ways, man, because like some of what they're saying makes so much sense, and some of it you're like, what the fuck? This is the same fucking writer?
So I heard it on the news today when I was on my way home, and I was like, what the fuck? Well, I think I saw your article first in the email, but I didn't read it. I just moved it.
Yeah.
And then I heard it on my way home today and only caught part of it.
What I miss?
He said, just so you know, Hitler's favorite game as a kid was Connect Fur. All right, Pat, you want to know what grinds my gears? Well, I already told you what grinds my gears. But today we lost I guess you would call him an icon in politics, I guess.
Depends on your circle.
Yeah, depends on your circle, I guess. But Rush Limbaugh passed away today. He was battling stage 4 lung cancer and passed away today. He had it for about a year before he passed away.
Hold on, before you move on, because I'll find humor in anything. When I read the fucking headline the first time, I thought it said Rush Limbaugh passed away after a 70-year battle with cancer. And I was like, God damn, how old was he? Fuck me.
So, Pat, I was thinking about this on my way home because I was scrolling Facebook today at my lunch and I saw somebody post something. I wasn't on Twitter. Like, I'm a Facebook guy, not really so much a Twitter guy, even though go follow us on Twitter at @9pod. Or follow us on Facebook, 9 with Tommy Podcast. And the amount of people that are just talking shit about this guy.
Yep.
And so, like, we try not to get too political, right? I think it's very obvious that I'm more Republican than Democrat. Pat kind of shoots it down the middle.
Libertarian, baby.
I think he leans right, but kind of gets swayed left too. So he's right down the middle. But I think we can both agree that there's a specific side that since they were elected into office has preached nothing but unity, right, and coming together. So this guy is a conservative icon in America for the last 30 plus years, right? And there are people praising the fact that he's dead.
To your grind my gears point, we did not have a conversation about this before the show, correct?
No.
I did, however, screenshot several Twitter posts about Rush Limbaugh dying, completely unrelated. When you said I have a grind my gears, I thought it was going to be about my friends emailing in, even though they don't listen to the podcast. I had no idea that you even knew that Rush Limbaugh had passed away, or who the fuck Rush Limbaugh was. I don't know what you know. You know what I mean?
No, to be honest with you, I'll tell you this right now. I've never listened to a Rush Limbaugh show. The only reason I know who he is because while I was watching the State of the Union last year, President Trump presented him with the Presidential Medal of Honor. So that's how I know who he is. And from there, like, I learned a little bit about him, but I've never listened to one of his shows ever.
Yeah.
So anyway, go ahead.
So I'm going to read a few of the tweets that were offered up by your fellow Americans. Remember, these tweets are in reaction to the death of a human being. Rush Limbaugh died. Right-wingers on Twitter are heaping praise on him. I challenge you to read the things he said about minorities, black people, gay people, women, sexual consent, torture, climate, even the January 6th attack, and find things to praise in there. I challenge you. The man's not in his hole yet, and you're already just like, his legacy's fucked. It was 4 days into a week-long break from Twitter, but Limbaugh dying felt like a necessary moment to reemerge. My sincerest condolences go out to Hell's other residents who now have to deal with being associated with him. Rush Limbaugh was one of the most harmful and poisonous people in modern United States of America. His pursuit of wealth and power hurt untold numbers of people and wrought incalculable damage to politics as a public good, society as a whole, and the planet itself. New tweet. Whether you loved him or hated him, and there are very few people in between. Rush Limbaugh was indisputably a force of historic proportions. Over the past 3 decades, he did as much to polarize our politics as anyone, and laid the groundwork for Trump and Trumpism.
Now, mind you, when Trump first announced that he was going to run, Rush Limbaugh hated it and actually developed a very strong relationship with him. So, not really true.
Right. Rush Limbaugh has passed on, but worry not. His memory lives on through bigots everywhere. Because if you like Rush Limbaugh or do math, you're racist. Just to be clear.
I was just like, no matter what, man, if you are a Republican,
I'm going to start making a list of the things that make me a racist.
This
is a fucked up list.
This is a guaranteed fact. If you are a Republican, you're racist.
I think if you have a heartbeat, you're racist at this point.
Well, not unless you're praising the death of another human being.
That's true. That's how you get immunity from racism.
Okay.
Rotten hell is what Twitter decided to put right below the Rush Limbaugh trend. Conservative radio host and author Rush Limbaugh has died at the age of 70, Fox News reports. Rush Limbaugh was a coward and a white supremacist. He aggressively and cynically exploited divisions in our country by weaponizing hatred and bigotry for his own personal gain. He was in service to his own greed, prejudice, and hypocrisy, and that is how history will remember him. If Rush Limbaugh deserves credit for anything, it's his pioneering work in spreading disinformation and directly enabling our nation's current state of vast distrust of experts and spurning of good faith in the public discourse. He will not be missed by rational adults.
Okay.
Hold on. My personal favorite.
You should have said who tweeted this shit.
My bad. Well, my personal favorite comes from Scott Shapiro, who said, "I wouldn't say I was happy that Rush Limbaugh died. It's more like euphoria."
It's a big word, Pat. I don't know what that means.
Almost like he was high on Rush Limbaugh's death. It was so good that it was euphoric.
So, see, this is my problem.
This guy's orgasming to Rush Limbaugh's 70-year-old dead, cancer-ridden body.
So this is my problem, right? There's a couple things. Yeah.
I'm just glad that none of these people are perpetuating hate like he did.
Yeah.
Racists.
Hypocrites. So this is my problem, right?
Spell it. Euphoria.
I have a friend that passed away of cancer, had a long battle with it, lung cancer.
He was probably racist.
Yeah, he probably was. Definitely a Republican. That's part of what bothers me about it, right? Because when you see a person that has lung cancer and you go through that battle, and then to talk shit about that person's life, whether you love them or hate them, it doesn't fucking matter. He's a fucking human being.
How about this?
You know what I mean? He's not Hitler. He's not Saddam Hussein. He's not fucking Bin Laden. He wasn't a terrorist. He never killed a human being. He spoke his opinion.
How about...
Since when is it wrong to have a fucking opinion, Pat?
When someone dies, my expectation would be T's and P's to the family.
Yeah.
All over Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Instacart, Facebox, whatever the fuck you go on.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, we support you. We've lost people too. We get it. It hurts. These people have zero, never mind Rush Limbaugh. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not his friend. We didn't hang out. I never sipped coffee with Rush Limbaugh. So his death doesn't personally affect me in any way.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have two choices if I'm going to say something. I can say something kind, or I can state my opinion like a pretentious piece of shit racist. Why not say it's too bad for his family? Or, he meant so much to so many. That's not untrue. I don't give a fuck if he meant so much to the Grand Wizard of the fucking KKK. He still meant so much to so many. It's such a nice message to send. Erica said, how does it make them better people to speak ill of someone, even if they thought they were evil people? Are these the same people who preach to be positive and kind? They are. They are positive. They want to see this kind of person die of cancer.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I'm almost willing to go back through all these motherfuckers' tweets, right?
Yeah.
And see if when he announced that he had cancer, if they said anything like fucked up about him, like, oh, thank God he has cancer.
No, these motherfuckers weren't talking when he was alive.
No. You want to know? Yeah. That makes them even bigger pieces of shit.
I think that's very cowardly.
Because you won't fucking say it to his face, and now that he's dead, he can't fucking debate you about whatever your differences are. So I heard this on the news today.
This is the epitome of kicking someone while they're down.
Yeah, literally. I heard this on the news today, and I told you this before we started the show. So Rush Limbaugh, somebody tweeted that he hated homosexuals or gays or LGBTQ. Was very good friends with Elton John, even though they had different political views. So that just shows you what kind of person he really was. He was willing to put his political views aside and be friends with someone. And clearly, he doesn't hate LGBTQ community people, whatever you guys call them.
I think even if he does have a distaste for, we'll call it the entire minority, like every minority ever.
Yeah.
I think it's obvious that he and Elton John could get together and do some math homework and be racist together, and they found that common ground.
Yeah, exactly.
That's an easy one.
So anyway, that's what fucking grinds. I'm all fucking hopped up now.
Erica said, keyboard warriors. It's true, but it's so much bigger than that, man, because this is such a hateful fucking message to send. And I will say this every time we see it. We see these precedents, right? Okay, so this side protested or rioted because they felt there was a just reason, whether I agree with that reason or not. And in this case, we know that I did. But I also said I fear the backlash because now protesting or rioting will be the answer when you're not happy. And we've seen that. They have gotten to a point where it is a constant thing. It's a constant headline, right? So what the fuck do you think is going to happen when the next popular, well-known Democratic political figure dies? You don't think the Republicans are going to fucking have a field day with that?
Do you want me to answer that question?
This is a horrible precedent.
Do you really want me to answer that?
You're going to say they won't. I believe you're wrong.
Okay. Time will tell.
You know what? Remember you said Saturday Night Live wouldn't make fun of Biden on the Weekend Update because they're all Democrats?
Yeah.
They have ripped Biden. Dude, they have some of the funniest. I keep meaning to send you the videos. They're fucking hilarious. They're ripping Biden to shreds.
I guarantee you this. Nancy Pelosi has one foot in the grave and the other on banana peel. If by looking at her, I have no idea what her actual health is, right. But she looks fucking shot.
That's from years of doing math homework and just being a hateful racist, Tom.
Well, she's a Democrat. Of course she's racist. When she passes away, right, she's one of the most hated Democratic leaders. I get Hillary Clinton. When she passed away, there's going to be a lot of memes about emails, but I don't think anybody's going to say, we're happy to see that she's dead.
I would bank on like the ding dong, the witch is dead all day. I really would. Because the line has been drawn. When your people die, we think it's funny. When our people die, think it's funny.
I think people will. I do not think that Republican leaders will.
Well, I mean, do we have Democratic leaders making fun of this man for dying?
Some of those people that you did are like political figures.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the fucked up part.
Yeah.
Is that they're willing to go to that extreme and talk about what a horrible fucking human this guy was, and he had his own demons, like he battled with addiction and things like that.
Right.
There's tons of fucking people that deal with that.
Right.
That makes him a horrible person, or because of his opinion didn't match your opinion, that makes him a horrible person. It just really fucking grinds my gears, Pat.
Well, not only that, dude, they're saying in America,
you're not allowed to have a fucking opinion.
Where you have freedom of speech.
Unless you're Tom McDonald.
And an opinion.
Unless you're Tom McDonald.
And
apparently, number 9 with Tommy podcast.
If I don't agree with your opinion or your freedom of speech, your First Amendment, I anxiously await the day you die so that I can attack you while you're in your grave. That's a beautiful message to send to the kids. I like it.
Yeah, it's great. Mason's a son up here. We'll end this segment with this because this is going to be a funny one, I think, too. He said he just saw this on Facebook, and is Joe Biden to blame for the snow in Texas just as Trump was for the fires in California? Well, no, because Joe Biden's not a Republican and he's not a racist.
Mason, I detect a slight amount of sarcasm, and I think we both know that there were two main causes, outside of obviously like the power grid not being connected, and that is algebra and geometry. Obviously caused the snow in Texas. Also, racism.
Yes, racism, major contributor.
I get that you were trying to be funny, but let's call a spade a spade. Racism comes solely from mathematics. If we stop doing math, the world will be a loving place.
Yes. No more 2 + 2 = furfur.
Führer.
Furfur.
Tom calls Hitler Führer.
Should we name the show Furfur, F-U-R?
I don't think that we should now.
I think that'd be fucking hilarious.
Alrighty.
Erica says, I think it was all trigonometry fault.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, shapes and all that.
Excellent point.
All right, so coming up on the next show, are we going to do the...
Erica, when I go upstairs, remind me to privately tell you what my response to that was.
Huh?
What is snow if not the racism of the weather? That's a valid point, Mason. Trying to turn all Texas white like that.
All right. So coming up on the next show, Pat apparently has a very special guest. Probably not going to happen.
Tom, you reading off the screen right now proves you're homophobic.
Thanks, man.
Reading off a computer screen makes you homophobic. You heard it here first. When you see that article come out and they say reading computer screens proves that you're homophobic, remember, I Nostradamus that shit.
And we're breaking news here on the Number 9 with Tommy podcast.
Goddamn right.
We're going to do a movie review, or we're going to have the Niners do a movie review.
Yeah, so we're going to take some time, you and I. We're going to talk about some movies that we think just got a serious
chubby
whole palm thigh rub right over where the staple injury is from last week. I'm not going to lie. I came like you were driving a staple right into my thigh.
Nice.
Erica said, it's only briefly white. Once we start interacting with the snow, it turns all different colors. Brown, yellow, gray. Snow, that is. It's beautiful, Erica. That's beautiful.
It's poetry.
Unfortunately, writing poetry means you hate amputees. That is an age-old fact.
That's the fucking article we're going to read on Sunday.
Jesus Christ. I used to work with a guy named Dom, only had 9.5 fingers. And he is going to be so upset to hear Erica write poems.
Whew.
That's tough. That's a sad day on the Number 9 with Tommy.
So yeah, we're going to get together and have them review a movie that we don't think that they've ever seen. Or maybe they have seen.
I would say a movie that most people haven't seen.
Okay.
And then we're going to encourage them to write us some feedback. And we're going to give you a movie that we think you're going to fucking love. We're not going to fucking Washington your asses. It's not going to be Days of Thunder.
It's not going to be no fucking I Am Legend.
Erica says, I give that a half thumbs up. The amputee hatred continues to pour out of your wife. The racist teacher.
More vocabulary guessing game, which we're going to do right after this.
That's right, baby.
And a new Would You Rather from Patrick.
I'm so excited for this fucking vocabulary guessing game.
Before we get into that, right, this movie review thing just caught me, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you about, and I keep forgetting. You know how work does the weekly email?
Yeah.
And we've been doing the movie review thing today? You think they got that from Number 9 with Tommy podcast?
It's possible. It's possible. The receptionist that like legitimately just calls me and is like, I need you to do this because I don't have enough feedback yet, is somebody who knows very much about a suspicious amount about the Number 9 with Tommy podcast, and will call me in like after the peanut butter and jelly video. Just called me and was like, what are you doing right now? I'm like, I'm just sitting here. She's like, did you already go on lunch? I'm like, yeah. She's like, did you have peanut butter and jelly? Like, all right. So she definitely watched the video.
Nice.
So it's possible.
Well, if you're not following us if you're not subscribed to us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. You know what I mean? Anyway, so Pat, let's hear these vocabulary words.
Hold on. before we do that, before we close out the show with the vocabulary. Oh, you just did what's next on the next episode. Jesus Christ. Had a whole conversation about it. I was there.
Yeah, I want to throw this out there too. We're up to 41 subscribers on the tube.
Yep.
If we get to 50, it's time for you and I to do a punishment by ourselves together as one.
Tom, I don't know if you know this, but setting goals like that where we rely on other people's like loyalty or subscriptions, it means you beat women. You're a woman beater, Tom.
Well, you see my wife, right?
You don't just set goals publicly.
At
That's
least-
something you do in the privacy of your own home. And I'm not going to lie, I mean, since like the 30s, 40s, it's really not acceptable.
You've seen Erica every other Monday. She has a black eye.
Erica's had more black guys than you care to discuss.
Black eyes? Yeah, sure.
Black eyes.
Black eyes.
Yeah, dark eye.
Oh.
Jesus.
I thought you meant black guys.
Oh, she does way too much math. All right, moving on. We really shouldn't make such light of it. Racism is a real fucking problem.
Yes.
But let's approach racism from like a loving, understanding, caring fucking place instead of just pointing fingers all the fucking time. And when pointing fingers at each other doesn't work, we start pointing fingers at the most random shit we can think of.
Well, and like I said, I think they're overcomplicating a simple, like, and I don't want to, like, I'm not downplaying this, right? It's not a simple solution or a simple problem.
I disagree. There's a very simple solution to this. You ready? This is from a man who does not read the book. Love your fucking neighbor. Yeah. That's it.
Listen, I agree with you, right? Like I'm pretty sure on this show that we have had that discussion. That it's so much easier. Just be kind to one another.
It's such a simple concept. If you have
fucked up thoughts about somebody else, keep them in your own fucking head. Keep them on fucking Twitter. You fucking assholes.
You know the easiest, if somebody was constantly negative or constantly anti-Pat, we'll say, he said things about me behind my back or whatever, at worst, without you trying to cause physical harm, which then I would defend myself because that just makes sense. But if you're just talking or just hating me out loud or just working against me in general or flicking me off while you drive or whatever, at the very worst, I will ignore you. I will not allow you to be the source of my voice. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit there and talk about you. What I will do is probably treat you better than ever, because my goal at that point, I'm like a gay dude hanging out with a straight dude. Like I want to turn you. I want to turn a hateful person into a kind, loving person. I really do. So I can't add hate to their hate and expect to get love.
Yeah, I'm with you. We're not making light of the serious issue. I think we're overcomplicating the issue. I think we're throwing darts at a fucking dartboard at this point and just...
Mason, oh my God. I don't think you meant to agree with that, Erica. Oh, God. Mason said, I never understood beating your wife. It's like keying your own car. To which Erica responded, I agree, Mason. I think Mason was trying to be funny.
Oh, he has a good point. Why would you beat your wife? It's like knocking the windows out of your car. Why would you beat up your own shit?
I agree that you should not beat your wife. I will say that.
Yeah, Mason's
a bad fucking idea.
Mason's acting like she's a possession.
Yeah.
Piece of shit. I agree with you, Mason. Hit her in the stomach.
Mason.
All right, let's get to these words.
Beating your wife means that you also speed. You're a speeder, Mason. You should be in jail if you speed too much. That's just facts of life. I'm going to keep coming with the facts of life. Tom, I got to turn away from you and the camera.
Here, I'll get you one better.
So that you cannot see what's coming across my screen. Giggity. Tom. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Tom, I'm going to hit you with 3 words or phrases. I am not going to use them in a sentence or give you the definition. I want you to tell me the definition. If you can't, I want you to take your best guess. If that guess is incorrect, I will then use the word in a sentence. Then I will give you the opportunity to tell me what it is or give your best guess. And if you can't, I will give you the definition of the word.
Got it. That's quick.
Tom, your first word is pank. P-A-N-K. Pank.
You want the definition?
Yes.
To pank is to put a Cleveland steamer on your wife's chest.
Tom, you are closer than you think. I will give you the word in a sentence or two. Why are you taking so long in there? I'm having a panking.
I'm having a panking.
Yep.
Hard shit. It means hard shit.
You're getting very close. Tom, to pank is to wank and poo simultaneously, also known as poopsterbating.
Oh, well, why don't you just say poops?
Having a pank.
I like it.
It's almost like
I like it.
Blumpkin, but without a partner.
Yeah. Well, and it's not oral. It's
correct.
I like it.
Oof. If you could give yourself Blumpkin on the toilet, would you do it?
Fuck no.
There's better places to do it.
Yeah.
I'd rather almost drown in the shower doing it than do it on the toilet.
Yeah.
I've smelled my shit. It's not pleasant from a distance. I don't want to do it close up.
Yeah.
All right. Tom. Fudgy crinkles. Your word is fudgy crinkles.
See, that's where the shit gets in her wrinkles.
Again, Tom. You are incredibly close.
Ooh, let me guess again.
Okay.
It's where you're doing anal, and poop gets in like the creases of your genitalia.
Tom, you're 1 for 2. Fudgy crinkles.
Nice.
In a sentence. Pedro had fudgy crinkles on his penis after having anal sex with the neighborhood hooker.
Nice.
The foreskin on a penis caked or crusted with poop after anal sex.
Nice.
Fudgy crinkles.
Fucking nailed it. You didn't think I was going to get any of these, did you?
You can bank that fudgy crinkles has become a part of my vocabulary moving forward. Tom.
Mason said,
Mason said, no, not a possession, just beating someone else's wife. That's fantastic. Mason is
Mason, you're no longer allowed over my house. Thanks.
Welcome at my house. I don't have a wife. I'm looking at that camera like, hey, Mason, since you're on that camera, you're welcome over my house. I don't have a wife. Okay. Tom, I'm going to give you the word. Your word, number 3, the tiebreaker, Sasquatch.
Sasquatch?
Sasquatch.
That's where, okay. Can I ask one question?
I will tell you this. When I read you the word in a sentence, you will immediately know what it is.
Well, so here's my thing, right? I'm going to ask, is it gender specific?
No.
Well, it's when a male or a female has a ginormous genitalia.
That was close. I'll use it in a sentence, which already has me laughing. I don't know how I'm going to get through it. Tom, Sasquatch. My trimmer is broken, and I've got serious Sasquatch.
When your down under hair is grown out of control.
That is correct. The definition of Sasquatch, when an unkempt bush begins to grow down your thighs.
I like it.
Sasquatch. Tom, I had a great time playing the vocabulary game with you.
I did too. I really thought that you were going to come with some like real words and not like.
No, I wouldn't like try to humiliate you.
Oh, good. Well, because 3 times on this episode today, it's I don't know what that means. But... All right. Anything you want to say, Pat?
I say good day.
Yeah, where's my mouse? Another great episode, number 9 with Tommy Podcast.
Hold on.
Really enjoyed this one.
Don't go anywhere.
I'm going anywhere. Changing the camera back.
Let me text.
We didn't have fucking Tim on the show today. Oh, we didn't talk about NASCAR either.
if I get a text in the next 2 minutes back from this person, we're going to give a number 9 or a phone call live on the air. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to order a pizza from Don Lindsay's Pizza Shop. And I told him we might be calling him. So he is prepared to take the order, even though most pizza shops are getting ready to close. I hope he answers me. What are you doing?
Oh my God.
This is the last thing he sent you? He's a funny motherfucker.
You should have been watching live on the tubes. This episode has been brought to you by Manscaped. Get the new Lawnmower 3.0. See you. Mason. That's a real fucking company, dude. The hashtag no free ads, bro. What are you doing? Maybe you should email them. Oh my God, dude. How awesome would that to have is them as a sponsor for the show?
And then do Sasquatch?
Yes.
I would grow my bush for the next year if they became a sponsor on the show, just so that I could put on a bikini and have pubes hanging out the sides and then trim it so it looked better.
Mason, email Manscaped and see if they'll sponsor the show for us to do that.
Number 3, you're our outside communications guy. You just got promoted. Congratulations. Mostly because we're both fat and lazy.
Well, Tom has enough work to do. Pat doesn't do. Right.
Number 3, straight genius.
I like it. Don Lindsay, come through in the clutch, dude.
I don't know if he's going to answer, bro.
You know what you should do, right?
I told him we were going to call him, but it's pretty late. He's got kids. It's been a very stressful day.
Yeah, I know. Wheelbarrows.
Oh, can I tell you?
I don't even want to talk about that. Dude.
You know, I make...
Don't read the thing on my vaccine.
Yeah. I make shakes at work.
Nice. Must be nice to have a kitchen.
Must
be nice to have a break room.
A blender. It's beautiful.
I mean,
my protein powder's there.
9 years, I've never had a break room.
Got energy drinks and shit.
Great.
So I make shakes in the morning, running low on cups, lids, and straws because I got cups, lids, and straws from Amazon because I was bringing them from home. Now I just brought them all to work. So I ordered cups, lids, and straws off of Amazon. And they came in yesterday morning to Don Lindsay, and he was fucking hysterical. He happened to be the one who received the package from Amazon. He was like, "What the fuck, man?"
I like it.
So I've taken his character name and given him some credibility. Looks like Don Lindsay may have closed the pizza shop for now, but we will be ordering pizzas on Sunday. That's a promise. I will get Don Lindsay to agree to be on the show.
Why don't you just, very simple, just record it on your phone.
We may have to do that.
And then I can play it on the show. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. It looks like we had the normal people in here, but we appreciate it either way. And we'll see you guys on Sunday. Remember, 5 o'clock on Sunday. 5 o'clock.
That's PM. 5 p.m.
Yep, 5 p.m. we'll be on. Maybe we'll have some NASCAR in the background. Who knows?
I say, a good day.
Oh, boy.